It only took one night, one party, and one East Asian man touching my Caucasian wife's hips to show me exactly what I meant to her.
The night everything fell apart started at a neighborhood birthday party. You walked in wearing that red dress, the one you know I love, but you didn't even look at me. Your eyes went straight to our neighbor, Don. You waved at him like he was the guest of honor, a bright, beaming smile just for him. I tried to put my hand on your back, just a small, supportive touch, but you brushed me off. You said you didn't want to look clingy in public. I whispered back that I was just trying to be close to my wife. You laughed, a sound that used to warm me but now just felt cold. You told me I was being dramatic. When the music started, you made a beeline for Don again. You told him you loved his cologne, that he looked sharp tonight. You said it loud enough for everyone to hear, including me. I felt a knot tighten in my stomach. I asked if we could talk for a second, privately. You shot me a look of pure annoyance and said I was embarrassing you. I told you, my voice low, that I wasn't trying to embarrass you. I was trying to stop something stupid before it got worse. You just rolled your eyes and walked away, leaving me standing there like a stranger. I had to watch you dance with him like you didn't have a husband. He put his hands on your hips and you didn't move them. You just smiled up at him. It felt like a scene from a movie I never wanted to be in. Everyone in that room noticed. Their glances, their whispers, everyone saw it except you. When I finally got a moment with you, you just said you were having fun, but it wasn't fun for me. It wasn't fun watching the woman I loved pretend I didn't exist. I had to get out. I walked outside just to get some air, to feel something other than the heat of humiliation. A minute later, you followed me out, irritated, not worried. You didn't ask if I was okay. You asked why I was ruining the party. My head was spinning. I asked why you were ruining us. You told me to stop being so insecure. I said I wasn't being insecure, I was being honest about my feelings. And then you said it, the words that echoed in my head all night. Feelings are overrated. The drive home was silent, thick with unspoken words. We got inside and you immediately went on the offensive, telling me I needed to trust you more. I told you trust is a two-way street. It requires effort from both sides. You called me controlling. I said respect isn't control. You said I was overreacting. I said you humiliated me in front of our friends and neighbors. You said I was too sensitive. I told you that you were too careless. Without another word, you stormed off to the bedroom and slammed the door. I slept on the couch that night. Or rather, I lay on the couch. I stared at the ceiling for hours, tracing the shadows and wondering when everything changed. When did we become this? You used to hold my hand everywhere we went. You used to smile the second I walked into a room. Now you smiled at everyone but me. The silence of the house was deafening, filled with the ghost of what we used to be. The next morning, you came downstairs acting like nothing had happened. You breezed into the kitchen and asked if I wanted coffee, your voice light and casual. I said I wanted a conversation. You let out this loud, dramatic sigh as if talking about our marriage was the biggest inconvenience on earth. I took a deep breath and told you plainly that I was hurt by how you acted last night. You looked at me, your eyes cold, and said I should grow up. I told you that marriage requires respect, a basic level of consideration for your partner's feelings. And that's when you delivered the final blow. You said, I'm not responsible for your emotions. That one sentence. It just broke something inside of me. It was like a switch flipped. I stood up from the couch, didn't say another word, and walked upstairs. I went straight to our closet and started packing your things. You followed me, your cheerful morning demeanor gone, replaced by shock. What are you doing? You asked, your voice trembling. I kept folding your clothes, placing them in a suitcase. I said I was giving you the freedom you so clearly wanted. You started to panic, telling me I was being cruel. I told you I was being logical. I gathered your shoes, your makeup, everything. You kept saying, stop, 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 but the words were just noise. I didn't stop. When I carried your bags downstairs, you grabbed my arm, your grip tight. What will people think? You asked desperately. I looked at her and said, people already thought enough after last night. Her eyes widened. Are you seriously kicking me out? I told you that you kicked yourself out the moment you forgot you had a husband. You said you had nowhere to go. I suggested Don had a couple of empty rooms. You slapped my arm and said that was a low blow. I said Laura was dancing with another man while calling your husband insecure. And then the tears started. Sudden, dramatic sobs, as if they could wash away the entire night. You said you made a mistake? I told you mistakes are moments? Yours was a performance that lasted for hours. You said you didn't mean to hurt me. I said intention doesn't erase impact. You begged me to reconsider, to give you another chance. I told you I'd already reconsidered everything last night, staring at the ceiling from the couch. I walked to the front door and opened it, then stood aside. You looked out at the street like you were seeing it for the first time, like the world was colder than you expected. Maybe it was. With shaking hands, you grabbed your bags. You turned to me one last time and asked, "Is this really goodbye?" I told you it was goodbye to disrespect, not to love. You walked out without looking back. I closed the door and locked it. And in that moment, for the first time in a long, long time, the house felt peaceful. Not happy, not whole, but peaceful. Sometimes peace only comes after heartbreak. Sometimes clarity arrives in the silence. And sometimes you realize you didn't lose your wife. You simply lost the version of her you had imagined she was. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever felt like this, know that you're not alone. The journey to healing is tough, but finding your own peace is worth it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about navigating life's toughest moments.